to today's episode of Jazz Beats, your number one podcast for jazz news and entertainment. Here are your hosts, Jackson and Tyson.
That's right. Thank you, Kirsty. We are Jazz Beats, and I am Jackson.
This is Tyson.
And we're happy to be here. Two-game win streak for the Jazz.
Oh,
everybody's happy right now.
Man, and some big teams to beat, too.
Yeah. Sole position of the number one spot in the West again.
Yes.
It's a good time.
How many games have we played? How many games have we played now total?
12 and 6.
So that's 18 games. I said that they have to mention us by 25 games if we're in the top 4 seed. I want to hear Shaq talk about how great the Utah Jazz are if we're in the top 4 after playing 25 games. They have to reflect that.
Shaq has ignored us.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like he's just ghosting the Utah Jazz. I don't know why I care so much, but I just want some recognition from Shaq. Why?
Just because he's big body, he counts as 3 or 4 recognitions. So you might as well get it out of the way. We're Jazz Beats, like we said. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are listening, whether it's your podcast platform or on YouTube. We are on there as well. If you can't find us on there, just search Utah Jazz Beats, and we usually come up pretty quick. So thanks again. You guys are awesome. Well, so we played Phoenix on Friday night. Who was top 3 in the West. It was us, Phoenix, and Portland. We're all kind of top 3, top 4. The Phoenix game was fun.
Phoenix game at home at the Vivint Arena. Incredible game. I mean, either way, whether we won or lost that game, that would have been probably the funnest game for fans in Utah to watch so far this year.
I agree. Why do you say that?
I mean, I would much rather come and see us lose by 1 point than lose by 8 or more. You know, I would rather have all the fans sitting on the edge of their seat to watch the Jazz win or lose in the last 20 seconds of a game than have them heading to get out of the parking lot with 4 minutes left to the game because that's more important. I hate that.
I think there's been some guys on our team the last couple games that are winning fans over, even more so if they haven't. One being Markkanen. Markkanen had a career high on Friday against Phoenix at 38.
Oh man!
And then the one shot
I know
with
exactly what you're talking about.
With like a minute left, shot clock's running down. Looks like we were screwed. We were up, I think 1, maybe 2 at the time.
Right.
And Markkanen's getting dogged by Booker. I think was guarding him.
And one other guy. I think there was 2 guys on him.
No time left. Turn around, fade away from like 18, 20 feet away. Just drains the thing.
Completely fumbling the ball, but able to get in shooter's position and form with that shot. I could not believe it went in. My closed captions actually were covering the hoop, so I wasn't actually
You
sure.
watch with those?
I don't know how to turn them off. Sometimes it's just like more the game's going, and there's too much hassle to turn them off.
Are they at least in line with what they're saying, or are they like a minute behind?
No, they're like 20 seconds behind.
So they're not usable at all.
No, it's like it's the worst, and it actually covers up the hoop.
It's kind of like an instant replay, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Because the play happens, you hear it, whatever. You're like, oh, I wish I could experience that again, and then you read what the commentators say about it like 30 seconds later.
It's like, what was that stat that Bowler Jack said? Oh, there it is on the screen. I get a second chance to hear what he was saying.
Okay.
But no, that shot was dope, was incredible. This guy's an all-star. What a dagger if you were a Suns fan watching that shot go in. And I've been told that was the highest energy they've had in the Vivint Arena so far this year. The fans were loud.
I believe it.
It looked like a lot of fun.
The other guy I was going to mention, I think we're going to get into him a little bit more in a minute.
Maybe so.
Malik Beasley. The last 2 games, he's had 27 and 29 and shooting insane. 7 for 13 from the 3 against Phoenix and 6 for 14 against the Blazers from the 3. Just freaking casting him.
That is insane. And that 6 for 14, that seems like he missed a lot, but it sure seemed like he was making everything. I don't know why. I'm really surprised that he had that many missed shots. But you think about that's the 13 3-pointers in 24 hours, back-to-back games. That's really impressive. And it's been fun to watch because his shot is just pure.
And then the shimmy. We did get one shimmy in the Portland game.
We did get a shimmy, and I figured out the secret to it. Did you notice?
No.
It's all in the hips.
Well, yeah.
Because he's not
You never shimmied.
Oh,
I see.
I see.
The Steph Curry
I
has
think
a shimmy that's
kind of
yeah,
and the shoulders a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's all about.
It's the Malik shimmy.
Yeah, downtown. Oh, pun intended.
What else stood out to you the last 2 games? We were on a 3-game losing streak. So they were pretty important wins for us.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that I saw that was a good change was our foul trouble. We dialed that back in. Kelly and Vanderbilt still high in their fouls, but they were able to dial it in. We weren't kicking them out too early in the game, and they were just more tasteful and more tactical when they had to use those fouls up. I feel like those guys are always in foul trouble, but they were just a little smarter, and I just appreciated the focus for them to try not to foul out, even though Olynyk and West and what's our
Vanderbilt.
other and Kessler.
Kessler.
I feel like they get a lot of awful calls. I feel bad for him a lot of times. Kessler checks in, and within 30 seconds, I guarantee he gets a whistle blown on him every time he subs in. Just watch it. It's serious.
Another thing that happened, Mike Conley went down early, first or second quarter in the Blazers game.
Right.
With a knee injury, which is terrifying.
Yeah, they sat him quite a bit and then put him in the game finally in the second quarter, or halfway through the second quarter, and straight away, he hyperextended that leg as he kind of came around a screen funny. It looked really bad.
It did look bad.
Slow-mo. I was like, ankle, shin, knee, everything. Just cut the whole leg off.
They did say the MRI was negative as far as any serious injuries. Nothing torn or pulled, but it looked worse than it was, apparently.
Right. That just goes to show how fit he is to take that type of strain on the leg and still be able to supposedly bounce back into.
Can we say at his age?
Yeah, we can.
You and I are a similar age to Mike Conley.
We are the same age.
And I wake up wrong, and my back hurts for a day or two.
Honestly.
So it's good for him.
Yeah. No, that's tough. What about Horton Tucker?
Horton Tucker. I'm still on the same page with him. There's times on the floor where he looks like the best player on the court,
right,
and he's making amazing plays, getting to the rim, using his length. And then there's other times where I feel like he does some very poor decision making and looks like one of the weakest. And why is he playing?
Yeah.
But he's looked okay the last couple games.
I think his strength is downhill. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When he's moving, I'm trying to lean out of his way as I'm watching the TV. Oh boy, get out of his. He is so fast right now. So I think that if we can just utilize him a lot on those fast breaks, and when we have a turnover, just throw it downhill and let him get going, I think he's a hard player to defend in that situation.
Yeah, he's another one that just gives energy at all times, which is good. Even when you're making mistakes, if you're making mistakes going 100%, then a lot of times those mistakes get fixed on their own just by out hustling, or you make up for it on the other end and get a stop or whatever. So that's what I like about him, and I see Sexton a lot that way as well. Right. They make a mistake, and it's okay, but they can get it back. They can recover from that just because they go so hard.
Right. And you mentioned Sexton, 13 points, and then against the Suns, and then only 6 against Portland. He was kind of I don't think he was.
I'm seeing 9 against Portland.
You're right. I got my paper upside down here. I don't think that he was making bad decisions. But I just felt like he was just absent a little bit there. And, he's an emotional guy. He gets really into it, and I almost feel like when he's not being challenged and able to go almost in a little conflict with his defender, he kind of zones out a little bit in the game.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Is he getting enough time on the floor to get over those moments at times and get in a rhythm more? Because he's against Portland had 20 minutes. Against the Phoenix, he had 22 minutes. And the Portland game was when Mike went out. So you would think a lot of those minutes would go to Sexton, but they really didn't.
Well, Horton Tucker kind of absorbed a lot of that. In fact, he was bringing the ball down as the point guard several times in the second half, which I was obviously surprised by. And Sexton was even on the court for some of that. But I do think that's a good point you bring up. With Conley gone, I think we're going to see Sexton's minutes closer to 28, 30 points, or 30 minutes a game.
I would like to see it. I think as far as the Sexton and Horton Tucker dynamic goes, it looks like that those are kind of our two backup point guards. Right. Horton Tucker is bringing it down a lot. He's running the offense. I think Sexton is more of a higher ceiling guy than Horton Tucker. I think what we see with Horton Tucker, that's what we're going to get, which is good, the consistency. But I think Sexton can outperform him given the time. So I would like to see those minutes kind of shade more to him. But Will Hardy also, I mean, who's denying what he's done so far?
I know, right? Okay, one more guy we got to bring up, and this is I call him the Italian Stallion, and that's because I don't know how to say his last name. I have no idea, but it sounds Italian to me. Simon Fontecchio.
So Bowler Jack says Fontecchio.
Fontecchio. No, that is the best way to say it.
Which sounds a lot better than yours.
Yeah, let's go with Fontecchio.
I'm going to see where he's from. He is Italian, so you got that going for you.
Did I really? Yeah, the Italian Stallion. Listen, he is a high-energy player. I noticed that in the preseason, and he's an excellent outside shooter. So he had 10 points against the Suns and 12.
Dude, what are you looking? You're looking at minutes. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Am I in the wrong column here?
This show is live.
I am in the wrong
By the
column.
way, we're not live as far as you guys are watching, but we do zero editing, and this is what you're getting right now.
So sorry. Okay, so he's doing 12 minutes and 10 minutes, and this is because he's filling in for Rudy Gay.
Okay.
Are you happy with his points, what he's doing on the court? Because with 12 minutes on the court, he's put 3 points in. 10 minutes with the Suns, he's put 4 points in. Do we get more out of Rudy Gay when he puts the same amount of time on the court?
I don't know. I like Fontecchio.
I do too.
I think he comes in just guns blazing.
For sure.
Not scared at all. I mean, in those 12 minutes, he went 1 for 4 from the 3. So he comes out shooting every single time. He gets this much room.
Yeah.
And he's letting it go, which I like.
I wonder if that's his instruction. Right. He's like, go take some 3-pointers, make it happen.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's all about. He'll pull up no matter what, which I like the energy for sure.
I think this team is 100% relies on guys buying into their roles.
Right.
And I think that's his role. But I also think Rudy Gay's role is bigger than what it should be. Or the way he plays, he's playing outside of what his role should be. His role should just be rebounder, banger on defense, and shooting the wide open 3 when he can. But I don't know if that's what he's been playing as.
Rudy Gay's an OG, so I mean he's good for some old school back down turnaround shots, kind of what we saw Markkanen. We talked about his shot. If he could pull that off more regularly in a game, it'd be nice. And I really like him, and I feel really bad saying this, but I'm just worried that he's falling out of the rotation of what the Utah Jazz are trying to accomplish. Rudy Gay.
I'm okay with.
You're okay with it?
I'm going to say I'm okay with it.
Okay. And I'd rather see Fontecchio on the court, the Italian Stallion.
He's just kind of you don't know what you're going to get quite yet.
No, but I like it.
We haven't seen it enough, and we haven't seen it enough, so it's always surprising and awesome when he comes in, makes 2 or 3 threes in a row, and makes a play. So he's fun. He's fun.
One more thing. We're talking about nicknames here. The Italian Stalion's what I call him. Did you hear Bowler Jack's new nickname for Malik Beasley?
Threesley. Yes, I did. It's awesome. Because that's all he does.
I think that's a great nickname.
Yeah. I think they showed a stat on the screen during one of the games talking about players in the league whose most percentage of their shots come from 3. And Beasley's in the top of top 3 or 5 of the league.
Wow.
So most of his shots come from 3, and it shows 13 of his 17 came from 3 against Phoenix, and 14 of his 18 shots came from 3 against the Blazers.
So if you're doing any flash drafts, we need to talk about this, because if you need to put you're picking a player to make some good predictions on, Malik Beasley might be an ace in the hole for sure.
We're going to talk about those in a minute when our sponsor comes up.
For sure.
Did you want to go into him anymore?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
No, we're good to go.
Okay. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about our sponsors in just a second. And then we have the Know It or Blow It coming up. You're not going to want to miss. Thanks for staying with us. We mentioned earlier getting in on a flash draft.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is DraftKings. They are an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And if you bet just $5 on a pregame money line bet and win, you get $150 in free bets after that.
On top of your winnings.
On top of your winnings.
Which is a win-win, right?
Yeah.
We're always looking for the win-wins. Everyone should try this at least one time. It's 100% boost with the draft stepped up same game parlays. You have to try this, guys. It's way fun, and it gives a little bit of a rush to the game. Especially if you're losing, it really helps make the game still fun.
The ones that you and I have gotten into is this Flash Drafts, which is on their regular app, and it's just like a rush. It gives you get like 5 or 6 players, and they give you 15 seconds to pick at a time. You got your 1 out of 3 picks, and you got to pick who you think will perform better. And it's a rush. It's quick. And I actually won some big time money last week on it. Big time for me. So give it a try. The Flash Drafts are a blast.
Jackson is up, and you could be too. So download the app now. Sign up with the code TBPN. Place a $5 pregame money line bet on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do win. The code again is TBPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Try it out, guys.
We also want to thank Fizz, which is our local sponsor here in Richfield. They put on this nice venue for us. We get to record in their lounge all the time. Just great people, great drinks. Yeah, it's a good time. We just heard about the brown cow drink.
Yeah, that's news to me.
Which I might give a shot. It's a root beer, nice little
with some extras.
Yeah,
it comes highly recommended from a reputable source.
Right. Give Fizz a try if you're in the Richfield area. We usually record Mondays around noon, 12:30ish. So
come in, join us, throw some random info at us. We'll see if it qualifies to make it on the podcast. What else we got going on?
Central Utah Giveaways is also giving away one of those electric Vibe scooters.
Yes.
If you want to enter to that, go to centralutahgiveaways.com. Entries are as cheap as what?
$2, I think, right now. So you can win a $600 scooter for $2 entry. Also, if you can't be bothered typing in all of that information, because I know it's so much work, just come down to Fizz. We're going to have the QR code on the window here, and you can just scan it as you order your drink at Fizz, and boom, takes you straight to the website, and you can put your raffle in to win this thing. It's going to be given away Christmas Eve, so that's a good present for anybody. I wish I was winning it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Know it or blow it. Is it time for that?
It's time for Utah's favorite Jazz Beats segment, also our only Jazz Beat segment.
Let me make a phone call here. We have James Cowser on the line coming up.
Yes, sir.
He was called out last week, so we'll see how he does. You got questions ready?
Yeah, we do. And in case you're wondering, it's spelled exactly how it sounds, folks. The last name on that.
Cowser. Let's see if we can get James on the line.
We're in a losing streak on this,
no,
right?
our last one won.
Oh, that's right.
We got out of our streak.
That's right. He did well. Some tough questions, too. Some interesting ones today. We're going to get personal here.
Come on, James.
What's up?
Is this James?
It is.
Hey, man. How's it going? You're with Tyson and Jackson on Jazz Beats. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good. Do you know much about this segment? You got called out last week by your good friend Chase. And
how many did he get?
He got all 3. So the way it goes, you get 3 questions, and if you miss one of them, I'm sorry, but you are the worst Jazz fan of all time.
You should at least be able to do 3 questions.
All right, give me some softballs. Make it easy.
But if you get all of them right, you are the absolute greatest #1 Jazz fan of the entire.
So is it like the most recent is the most on top, so I get to tell Flint?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. It's like King of the Hill.
Okay, King of the Hill. King of the Hill trivia. I got you.
Only one at a time up there.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get into it? Anything you want to say?
No, I'm ready. Let's do this. Take note, huh?
That's right.
Take note. All right. We do start off with the easier ones, we believe. And Jackson, he's such a nice guy. If you feel like you want to skip one and come back to it, he's allowed that option. So you just say, come back to that one. Let's go to the next question, and we can make that happen.
All right, cool.
Okay, question number 1. Here we go. John Stockton from the Utah Jazz has a son who played on a 10-day contract, also with the Utah Jazz and a lot of other teams. What is John Stockton's son's first name?
Isn't it David?
It is David.
It is
that
David.
Was easy.
Oh, yeah.
Zero hesitation.
I played against him in Little League AAU. That's how I know that.
Shut
That's
up.
awesome. And how'd you do?
I think we lost because it was Stockton and Hornacek were coaching, so they had both their kids.
There's been enough time now, James. You can stretch that out a little bit and say you won.
Unless David's listening, I would say I got the W.
No, it's the CTE. I can't remember anyway.
Well, good for you. Okay, question number 2. Are you ready?
That first one was actually kind of hard. I don't know if I am.
Dude, you got it like right off the bat. You're good.
Dude, I got lucky in my history.
Okay, well, I mean, this one's a 50-50 chance, so that'll help your odds.
So
okay?
true or false?
Well, Malik Beasley recently had a baby born in the last couple weeks. Was his newborn baby a boy or a girl?
Oh, Frank, so who knows this stuff? Let's pass it and come back to that one. So if I get the second one, then I can start again.
Oh, baby.
I'm not that good of a Jazz fan.
Well, there's two kinds of Jazz fans. There's people who watch every game, and then there's the crazies that are on social media during all the games too. So we seem to know what you are.
I'm the one who's going to get lucky. Watch this.
You're up. I don't know number 3. You've got it.
This is a hard one.
Do I have number 3? You've got it in your stack there.
I don't.
Where is your stack? Okay. All right. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I do remember. Okay. So the Jazz the Jazz are top 5 as a team in one of the major categories in the league. You've got points allowed. Points allowed would be the bottom 5, I guess you could say. Rebounds, assists, field goal percentage. We are top 5 in one of those categories. Which category are the Jazz top 5 in the league in?
This is going to be an absolute guess, too. I'm going to say points.
You're going to say points? Final answer?
Well, final answer. That's all I got.
Easy money right there, James. Good for you, too.
Dude.
Are you serious?
Hey, 2 for 2.
Baby.
You've got a good shot at number 3 if you want to go back to it. Remind us what that question was again, Tice.
Okay, Malik Beasley, 2 weeks ago, actually on November 11th, 11/11, Remembrance Day, had his second child. Was his child a boy or a girl?
Great, man. I was going to have to guess girl.
Survey says...
Dude, let's go to Vegas, baby. Yeah. This guy can't get anything wrong.
Good for you, man. Good for you, man.
Put a statement on here that says that I am better than Chase Flint. That's all I care about.
You got it. Chase is who called you out last week, and you are now the top Jazz fan worldwide as far as Jazz Beats is aware.
Hey, that's gospel as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, good for you, man. It's fun having you on. So you get the chance to call out somebody, anyone in your life, Jazz fan or not, that you think would be on the show. And
you got a name in mind?
I got a kid who's got season tickets. He's the number 1 Jazz fan. He runs a Patriots, like a New England Patriots podcast. I bet he'd be pretty good.
Beautiful. What's his name?
His name is Jace Campbell.
Okay. Jace with a J?
Jace. Jace Campbell.
Okay, Jace. Right. Well, we'll be in touch, James, and I'll get Jace's number from you, and we will get a hold of him.
Hey, and thanks for coming on, man.
That was fun. That sucked. That was hard.
3 for 3, man. It wasn't that hard. You got this.
Cool. All right, man. Thank you.
Okay, dude. Have a good one. See you later.
Bye.
I love it.
Dude, he was fun.
I loved it.
He could be a good fill-in anytime.
Yeah.
He just guessed them all.
I think he guessed all 3 of those. I love it.
When we put this list together, we were a little worried that they could be difficult.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're just a good guesser, that also makes you a good
can't
Jazz
be
fan.
the greatest Jazz fan of all time just flinging out easy questions.
That's right.
We got to hit them with these tough ones, and you got to compete if you're on the show.
I have a couple strange side notes I want to bring up here on some of this personal stuff.
Let's go. Let's get into it.
Let's start with the John Stockton.
Okay, and David, his son David.
Yeah, his son David. That's right. I mean, this guy's career, if you pull him up, I mean, this guy is like a rolling stone. He is everywhere and nowhere. He is on every team but never plays. No wonder John Stockton's a little, RBF. If you know what I'm saying. There could be a little bit of that.
Tell us why.
Okay.
Tell us the deets.
I mean, I don't know how many minutes he's played total here, but this is the list of teams that he's been on in the last 5-6 years.
Okay.
And I'm just going to name the NBA teams. I'm only going to name the NBA teams.
Because there's more.
Because there's more.
Okay.
Phoenix Suns, Washington Wizards, Sacramento Kings, Los Angeles Clippers, Utah Jazz. Who else we got on here? We've got Golden State Warriors, Okay, so that's like six or seven teams just in the NBA. That doesn't include the summer league teams, the G leagues that he's been on, and the international. He's played on probably 15 teams in the last 6 years.
You know what I say? I say good for him.
Really?
For still pushing his passion and trying to get on teams and going to these tryouts. And he's playing basketball for a living still. I assume that's for a living.
I guess. I also forgot the Indiana Pacers. My bad. There's
so add another one.
Even more. But, I mean, if you do want to watch some David Stockton highlights, just go ahead and put on the Fort Wayne Mad Ants.
Is that where he is?
He is at the training camp for Fort Wayne Mad Ants. I can't think of a more intimidating name than that.
Hey, I'm steering clear. If I see a mad ant, I'm turning.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Okay, one more on Malik Beasley.
Okay, just had a child, baby girl.
Had a baby girl. By the way, her name is Mia Love Beasley.
Cool.
It's his second child with his wife, Montana.
Nice.
Montana Yale.
They're all M's.
That's
Montana, Malik, and Mia?
Well played. That's true.
Okay.
So if you didn't know, this is an interesting fact. I don't know. I don't want to turn this into TMZ.
Tyson, before we hit record, Tyson was like, I don't know if we should talk about the Beasley stuff. And I have no idea where he's going with this, so this will be fun.
Okay, so in 2022,
that's this year.
No, sorry, 2020.
Right now.
In 2020, his wife actually filed for divorce from Beasley.
His current wife?
Yes, his current wife.
Okay.
He just had the second child with. Because Malik was spending some time with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Wow.
So if that's the thing. Scottie's ex has been hanging out with Malik, and it almost caused a separation in his marriage.
Interesting. I don't know what to bring from that.
But Malik apologized on Instagram and was forgiven by his wife, which apparently that's how you handle this type of situation.
Do you think that was in addition to a conversation, or that was it? That was the apology.
I mean, you could get married and divorced on Instagram, I assume. I mean, you probably date people and never meet them, and it's all on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that they hooked up, and that's how they communicated through the divorce and got back together, made things right. But with Scottie Pippen's wife, that just was such a strange fact to me, is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. I just thought...
It's a tight group of people, the NBA community, I guess.
It must be. But I'm glad Malik is here and that he's got everything in order, because he is killing it, and I love having him on the team. He's a lot of fun.
I still stand by what I said earlier, that he gained a ton of fans this weekend in his play.
For sure.
And with the baby and all that. Sure. And good for him for clearing things up, getting back on track, and then coming to Utah and freaking making things happen and giving us his shimmy.
Yes. We should get the whole crowd to do that when he makes threes.
Yeah.
That could be a trend. I'm not much of a trendsetter, but somebody is. If
Let's
you're out there,
make it happen. Coming up, Jazz, I'm sure have some big games. We do play Phoenix again in the next coming week.
I love it.
But yeah, let's keep this train rolling. We got 2 wins now in a row. Can we make it 3? Can we make it 4?
All I'm worried about is game 25, when we're still in first seed and I can just get my phone to vibrate and I'll pick it up. It'll be Shaquille O'Neal and he'll just be like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know those guys are doing real good. The Jazz are rolling real well."
So that's your benchmark, is 25 games, and then 25. It's for real.
When it's 25, it's for real.
Okay, we'll make it happen. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, follow us, whatever you got to do. Leave us a comment if you have any questions for us, or if we screwed up at all, because that happens too. Tyson, send us off.
Thank you guys. We love you. We're glad you're here. We'll see you in the next week.